3 or 4 weeks ago, we started looking at this very cool tour of the Faroe Islands, where you fly to Copenhagen and then you fly over to the Faroe Islands.
How much is this thing going to cost?
I can't see that it would cost anything less than $10,000, and it might cost more than that.
It's not like we have $10,000 in cash sitting around that we could just shell out.
Well, we do, actually.
What's happening right now? Do you or do you not have $10,000 of cash?
He had some money, some cash that he was supposed to put into like our reserve fund.
Put it in a bad spot.
He put it in a bad place and lost it.
How much are we talking about?
12,000.
I really lost it. I was very upset. I felt very much like I had been betrayed in a way. I have the classic cancer survivor brain of what if it comes back and I haven't done all the cool things?
Guys,
Fly to Copenhagen and then you fly over to the Faroe Islands. And so you stop at all these gorgeous little inns and hotels and eat at these great places. And then you go on to the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one.
who brought it up?
Cheryl's the one that usually picks out the vacations. She likes to travel. She grew up traveling.
So Cheryl, you brought it up, and then let's talk about the money part of it. When did that part come up?
I don't even know. It's come up just in a way of like, are we going to do that this summer?
How much is this thing going to cost?
I can't see that it would cost anything less than $10,000, and it might cost more than that.
What was your response, Michael?
It's not like we have $10,000 in cash sitting around that we could just shell out, but
Well, we do,
you know,
actually.
See, I don't know anything.
Whoa, what's happening right now? Do you or do you not have $10,000 of cash?
Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, we do.
So where did that comment come from, Michael? That you don't have $10,000 of cash sitting around?
I don't know. I just don't think of the savings we have as being there. I guess I just didn't think of it. Now that you mention it, I can see that we do have that amount of money sitting around. Well, it's not sitting around, it's earning interest. I put it out of my mind. Maybe that's the way I think about money. If it's not actually physically in my hand, it doesn't really exist.
She left an estate, and he had some money, some cash that he was supposed to put into like our reserve fund.
I put it in a bad spot.
He put it in a bad place and lost it.
How much are we talking about?
12,000.
And you put that into some type of, what was it?
It was stocks.
Okay. You put it into stocks and you lost some of the money.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did that bring up for the two of you? What kind of discussion?
I didn't know about it until we had to tally things up for our financial planner.
Mm-hmm.
And I really lost it. I was very upset. I felt very much like I had been betrayed in a way of trust, not the money, but we've always had a very trusting relationship. And so it was weird to me that he just went rogue, and it like brought up all this stuff that I sometimes say that he's resistant to making money. He was a lawyer. He made money, hated it, smart, get out of it, do something else. But I sometimes get the feeling like he puts up like a little Teflon shield to keep money from sticking to him. And that's what he did with this money. That was going to be his one big contribution to our future. And he gambled it and just lost it. And I just didn't think it was a smart decision.
Do you trust each other with money today?
Sure.
For the most part.
What does that mean for the most part?
I'm still like reeling a little bit from the incident.
Still got some residual anger, I think.
No, not anger, but I tease him a lot. I'm like, you don't have money like hidden somewhere that you're not telling me about, or
Why do you say that?
because I thought he was doing something with that money that we had agreed on, and then he didn't.
That's interesting. It's not about the 12K. That number is quite modest in the grand scheme. It's, as you mentioned, a betrayal. What does betrayal mean to you, Cheryl, when it comes to money?
Well, when you make a deal, you stick to it. There's no point in making a plan if you're not going to follow through with what you say you're going to do.
Okay. Michael, what was your thinking behind that decision?
Well, I thought it's not a whole lot of money to put away. And I thought if I put it into the stock, there's a good chance I could grow it. I could have more money that would contribute more. And it all went south. And the farther I got into the fact that it was going south, the harder it was for me to confront it. And the harder it was for me to tell Cheryl that it had gone this way. It just got worse and worse. And then finally cut losses. It was, funny thing is I teach logical fallacies as part of the thing. And that's the sunk cost fallacy, you know?
Yeah.
And I fell into it.
Well, as we all know, Just because you know something does not mean you are impervious to it. In fact, if anything, we are all human,
Yeah.
and you could teach a textbook on something, but gosh, sometimes you find yourself right in that textbook.
Yeah.
It's a human condition, isn't it?
Yeah.
How is your money currently organized? Do you combine your money as a married couple or no?
No, my Social Security and my whatever money I get from my job go into an account that Cheryl is a survivor to, and she can access it. And Cheryl's money goes to her account.
How do you pay your bills?
We we divvy it up.
That's divided. One of the reasons I went with Social Security, because at that point I was an adjunct and I was not making a whole lot of money. And
Cheryl, can you read off in this box the word in bold and then the number in full next to it for this entire box, please?
Okay, assets 455,000, investments 517,000, savings 42,756, and debt 186,000.
Total net worth?
828,756.
Cool. All right, so net worth is $828,000. What does that number mean to you?
I vacillate completely between thinking, oh my gosh, that's not enough. Like Michael referenced, people were saying, you need at least $1.5 million.
Okay.
And I think there's probably not going to happen. On the other hand, I feel a little proud of myself because I didn't start this career till I was like 50. I did a lot of things before I did this. I worked on Wall Street. I was married to a partner at a major firm and had a very expensive life, as you would expect from an 80s Wall Street multimillionaire, that kind of house in the Hamptons and big apartment in Tribeca and traveling all over the world, doing all those things. And I was very unhappy. And I really recognized working on Wall Street how unhappy people were who made huge amounts of money.
All right.
Not hiding any money. Well, that's going back to the $851,000, because I do the taxes and realize that, okay, if we cut off right now getting any money whatsoever other than Social Security for both of us, we have $850,000 in net worth. And I said, we got enough to live on for at least 8 years, probably 10 years,
No, we're not using that reasoning. That's not how we make end of life decisions for our finances. What the hell? Boy, both of you just went very dark. Guys, you're close to 70 years old. We need to be realistic here.
Yeah.
The decisions you make today, no joke, they're very important, because if you get it wrong, you end up 80, 85 years old, no money, and that's it. That's the end of the ball game. You do not want to die in America in poverty. So we don't make decisions by saying, let me lick my finger and put it in the air. And no, we get precise, especially when we're in our late 60s.
Out until 94, geez.
If you both are concerned about wanting to save more, why don't you just save more? You clearly can.
Because I have the classic cancer survivor brain of, what if it comes back and I haven't done all the cool things? What if I haven't gone to the Faroe Islands and the Norwegian fjords and the Machu Picchu and all of those things? And so part of it is, no, just live, because you don't know. We're at the age where our friends are dying. So do you hit it hard and just say, we're going to live really hard until we die?
What's the philosophy been so far?
Trying to find a healthy balance. My parents lived to travel. My father was an airline pilot. So my mother would save, she'd buy the cheapest pasta in the store, but then she'd book a trip to the Galapagos. And so I have a lot of that too. I don't care about the cars. We have old cars, period. I don't care. We have a small, cheap house so I don't care about that stuff, but I do want to have experiences. I do want to have all those things, because who knows?
Your philosophy has been a healthy balance. Do you think you've found a healthy balance between saving and spending?
I'm not sure that we have.
Okay, that's an honest answer. And Michael, what has your philosophy been on the finances?
I agree with Cheryl. I know that a lot of people, they put off experiences until they retire. But we saw both sets of parents that by the time they retired, they were not capable. They weren't able to enjoy these things. And so we mutually agreed that instead of putting off these experiences until we retire and we have plenty of time to do it, let's do it now when we've got money coming in so we can spend it and then replenish it. And
deep down, what I want is security, and I just haven't been able to find it. I've very much treated the money that I've made as mine, truly, like I've never considered it our money.
That's when I just kind of realized we're like, oh, we are super screwed.
You've mentioned a windfall.
It was $170,000.
How much of the money is left?
None of it.
You have no savings. You don't have enough to even get one day without an income.
My dreams are expensive.
Today, I'm speaking with Mike and Noelle, both 34 years old. They're married. They earn six figures as a single income household. And yet, even after inheriting $171K, they have a negative net worth. Their spending has caused a lot of tension in their marriage. Just listen to this line from Mike's application. Quote, "My wife would appreciate if I stopped blaming her for our money problems. Fights are started almost every day, and if we keep spending like this, we will have no future." That's a tough line to read. I'm going to look at Mike and Noelle's conscious spending plan right now, which breaks down their net worth, income, and where they spend. If you want my help with your own conscious spending plan, you can join my money coaching program at iwt.com/moneycoaching. Here's where they stand. Total assets, $29,800. Investments, $28,200. Savings, $0. Debt, $244,000. That gives them a net worth of negative $200,000. But what's really worrying to me is their fixed costs, which are 82% of their take-home pay. They've got debt. They've got high fixed costs. It's not sustainable. And if they don't change their relationship with money now, they will be stuck in this financial quicksand forever. Not surprisingly, they both think a second income will fix everything, but they already have a high income. So I suspect that more money will not solve their problems. In your application, you wrote something that caught my eye. You said, "I overly obsess about money and blame my wife when we live paycheck to paycheck." Take me back to the exact day that you wrote this. Where were you and what was happening?
That sentence came from me literally obsessing about money when I wake up until I go to bed, whether it's checking my bank account 20 times a day, whether it's checking my Vanguard account 20 times a day, my 401k. None of them are high, by the way, just to make myself feel better and know that there's something in the bank. And it's been it's been years for me. It's been years. And Noelle has gotten the blunt end of it a lot of the time because we're a one income household. You know, I'm supporting her in graduate school, which I totally signed up for and want to do and love doing it. It just came to a point where I was just so sick of the feeling that I felt because I make a decent income and I know we shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck.
And why do you blame your wife?
Well, I blame her. That's a great question. I blame her because I think she overspends from time to time, but then I always take it back because I do try to see where I'm wrong in the situation. And it turns out when I look at it, we both spend too much. But I just react to her in the moment, and then I have to go back and say, "I'm so sorry, Noelle. You're not the problem. I'm the problem." And I can only imagine how sick she gets of that.
Just so I understand a little bit more, Mike, when you mentioned logging into your Vanguard account and other accounts, how often are you logging into these accounts?
Literally 20 times a day. Vanguard probably once or twice a day, but the bank account several times.
Will you walk me through that experience for just a second? So multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Are you logging in on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. And right before you click that icon, what are you feeling?
Anxiety.
Mm-hmm. How does it show up? Is there a voice in your head? What does it say? Maybe it's a feeling.
It's more of a feeling of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of comfort just clicking into it. It's almost like an addiction.
And you click into it and it opens up, and are you hoping to see a certain number, or are you treating it like, like a baby treats a bottle or a blankie or something like that? Like you're looking for that sense of relief.
A baby treats a bottle. Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do?
I log out.
That's it. It's like a 5-second thing.
Yes.
Okay. I think a lot of people listening, they might go like, this sounds crazy, but I think a lot of us listening probably do the same thing with social media. And do you think that this is a healthy behavior?
No. It's one of the big reasons I wrote that. I reached out.
Okay. I appreciate that. And have you ever gotten help? Logging in 20 times a day seems like maybe there's something deeper there. What do you think?
Not for this. No, but yeah, definitely something deeper. Absolutely. But not particularly like this. No.
Okay. Would you?
Seeing him get a large amount of anxiety. We had a windfall happen about a year ago where we got $170,000 from a family member, and Mike has never been more nervous, and we've never had as many fights. He was really stressed out about where the money was going to go. We need this giant savings account. And I was maybe I saw it as a gift. And, I'm looking back, I regret the way I treated the money. But I kind of saw it as oh, this is a gift. So more than normal of this should be guilt-free spending. And
Let me make sure I understand. Mike, in your opinion, Noel, you're saying Mike seems anxious about not having enough money, but when there was a surplus of money, he became even more nervous.
Yeah, he gets worse when he has more money. The months where when he makes the most, because he's in sales, so he has a variable income. But the months when he makes the most money, the anxiety gets almost worse. So
yeah, but Mike, you were covering your face just now. What was that about?
Sorry, she's absolutely right. I've just had times where I've been in sales a couple of years, and I had the biggest paycheck ever. And I was talking to a good friend of mine who got me into sales, and I was telling him how miserable I was with when I made that. Yeah, at one time I'd made the most amount of money in this paycheck, and it was just bizarre. I just don't get it. When she's talking about the windfall, I was stressed.
I think it was just shocking initially. So initially looking over the numbers, realizing how much money he's making, how much money we're spending, and how much we'd gotten ourselves into debt. And I just had no idea. I think that was where I was really shocked. The conscious spending plan that you had us do, right prior to that, we had kind of looked through some of our finances at that point, and just realized that's when I just kind of realized we're oh, we're super screwed. So
was it depressing or was it connective? How would you describe it, Noel?
It was scary, I think is the best word for me. I think it was scary because I'm realizing okay, we have this credit card debt specifically, and that was really mounting, and I wasn't expecting that to be so high. And then to look at the interest rate on it, and then, to really take a look at our student loans even recently, and to see oh wow, these student loans, especially our graduate loans, have some of them have such a high interest rate that I'm just great. It just felt very overwhelming. I'm literally to the point where I feel all my dreams are gone, and I have to start as soon as I get a job, 70% of my income needs to go to debt. That's how I feel.
Okay. Let's take a look. Mike, I'd like to ask you to read the word in bold and then the number in full next to it for this entire box. Go ahead.
Assets, 15,534. Investments, 28,202. Savings, 0. Debt, 244,774. Total net worth, negative 201,038.